Welcome to the Zombie Story Zone. Tonight, we've got a spine-chilling tale for you. The Cursed Candy. Imagine this. A mysterious Halloween candy turns kids into zombies, and their terrified parents have only one night to find a cure. It's a race against time filled with twists, eerie moments, and a haunting legend that will keep you on the edge of your seat. If you're ready for thrills and chills, hit the like button, subscribe for more zombie stories, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you, so share your ideas for future tales too. Halloween night had always been a whirlwind of excitement in the quiet town of Maple Grove. Streets were filled with children in costumes, houses decked out with eerie decorations, and the unmistakable rustle of candy bags. This year, however, Halloween was different. It started as a rumor that a mysterious batch of candy had surfaced in the local store. Wrapped in bright green packaging with an unfamiliar brand name, Zombites, they'd appeared on shelves overnight with no trace of their origin. And yet, eager kids couldn't resist the allure of the neon wrappers. Parents barely noticed until the strange incidents began. As the clock struck midnight, a chilling silence fell over Maple Grove. Normally, kids would have been winding down, snuggling under blankets or trading candy on the living room floor. But instead, there was an unusual restlessness in the air. Sarah Bennett tucked her daughter, Emily, into bed, pushing her unruly curls from her forehead and placing a gentle kiss there. Emily had eaten her fair share of candy, including some of the strange green ones. "Good night, my little zombie princess," Sarah joked, watching Emily yawn and roll over. But just an hour later, Sarah was jolted awake by a faint groaning sound echoing down the hallway. It grew louder, rising in pitch until it sounded like a chorus of moans. Sarah rubbed her eyes, trying to shake off the remnants of sleep. But as she swung her legs over the bed, she felt a deep sense of unease. "Emily," she called out, moving toward her daughter's room. The door creaked open, and there, standing in the middle of the room, was Emily. Her once bright eyes were clouded and vacant, her skin pale and waxy. She took a shuffling step forward, her small hands reaching out aimlessly. "Mommy," she groaned, her voice hollow and raspy. Sarah's heart pounded as she realized that her daughter wasn't the only one. Outside, more moans and groans filled the streets as the children of Maple Grove emerged from their homes, one by one, in a trance-like state, stumbling down the sidewalks. The news spread fast. Parents poured out into the streets, horrified to find their children in a similar state, each muttering incoherent words, their once vibrant faces looking eerily dead. A sense of dread swept through the town, and the parents realized that something was terribly, terribly wrong. Frantic calls were made to doctors, but no one had answers. It wasn't until old Mr. Graves, the town historian, appeared on the scene that a flicker of hope emerged. "This reminds me of an old tale," he muttered, stroking his greying beard as he watched the children shamble about. "A curse placed up on the youth of this town long ago. A curse that was said to awaken on a night just like this, Halloween night." The parents looked at him, desperate for an answer, even if it sounded absurd. "Mr. Graves, please," begged Sarah, "what can we do?" Mr. Graves explained that long ago, a group of children had taken something precious from a mysterious woman who was later rumored to be a witch. As punishment, she cursed the children of the town, saying that if anyone dared to disturb her rest, her vengeance would rise again on Halloween night. "It's said," he whispered, "that the only cure lies in an ancient potion, but it won't be easy to make. You'll need ingredients that are hard to come by. And you'll need to get them before sunrise." The parents listened in disbelief, but they were willing to try anything. Mr. Graves handed Sarah an old leather-bound book, its pages filled with dusty sketches and handwritten notes. "There are 3 ingredients you'll need," he said. "First, the root of a mandrake, hidden deep in the forest beyond the old cemetery. Second, the tear of a ghost, which can only be collected in the cemetery at midnight. And third, a cursed jewel, said to be buried with the witch herself." Sarah gathered a group of parents, each of them determined to save their children. They split into 3 groups, each assigned to find one of the ingredients. Sarah's group headed toward the forest, flashlights piercing the darkness. The forest was dense and silent, an eerie contrast to the usual night sounds. The trees towered over them, casting twisted shadows that seemed to move. They ventured deeper, hearts pounding, until they found what they were looking for, a small, gnarled root, nestled in the hollow of a tree. As Sarah reached for it, a chill washed over her, and she felt an inexplicable urge to turn back. But she held her ground, yanking the mandrake root free and wrapping it in her jacket. Meanwhile, the second group stood huddled in the cemetery, flashlights flickering against the ancient headstones. Midnight approached, and the air grew colder. A faint, shimmering figure appeared among the graves, the ghost of a young girl, weeping softly. Her translucent form drifted toward them, her face twisted with sorrow. One parent, a man named Tom, bravely stepped forward and held out a vial. "Please, we just need one tear." The ghost paused, her hollow eyes meeting his. Slowly, she leaned over, and a single tear fell, shimmering, into the vial. The ghost vanished, leaving the parent shaken but triumphant. The third group made their way to an ancient grave at the edge of town, marked by a weathered stone. Beneath it, they uncovered the cursed jewel, a small, crimson gem that seemed to pulse in the dark. They placed it carefully into a cloth pouch, each parent feeling an eerie sense of foreboding. With all 3 ingredients gathered, the parents raced back to Mr. Graves, who helped them prepare the potion over a small fire. The mixture bubbled and smoked, filling the air with a strange, spicy aroma. When the potion was finally ready, Mr. Graves distributed it into small vials. "Now, each of you must return home and give this to your child," he instructed. "Hurry, there isn't much time." The parents rushed back to their homes, each one administering the potion to their child. As the children drank, they began to convulse, eyes rolling back, hands clawing at their chests. Sarah held Emily close, whispering soothing words, her heart breaking with each pain gasp. But then, slowly, Emily's eyes fluttered open, clear and bright once more. The color returned to her cheeks, and she looked up at Sarah, confused. "Mommy, what happened?" Tears streaming down her face, Sarah hugged Emily tightly, feeling an overwhelming sense of relief. She looked out the window to see the other children beginning to wake, their zombie-like trances lifting. Maple Grove was safe once more, but the memory of that Halloween night would linger. The parents gathered in the town square the following morning, exhaustion etched on their faces as they exchanged grateful looks. They had defeated the curse, but Mr. Graves had a final warning. As they walked home, the parents couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was watching. And in the shadows of Maple Grove, a figure smiled, waiting for the next Halloween when the children's sweet tooth would once again prove too tempting.